Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Humna and I do little tutorials of connecting art with the creator, the creation and your creativity. I believe that there is a link between how we create and what we need to focus on, which will lead us to more alignment of our mind to our heart, into our body and our soul. It's all interconnected, and everything in the universe has a way of teaching us exactly that. For me, my biggest inspiration, I think, for most artists is nature itself. And I pick these little pieces which speak to me in the moment and bring them to you guys in the tutorials and share a bit about what it could be that the piece itself is speaking to me in this moment, and how we can learn from it and gather insights, and how we can, better ourselves. For, nothing in the universe was created randomly. It was created for a purpose, and the purpose is for you and me to learn from it. And most times we see a something in nature and we look at it for what it is. So if you look at this piece right on the screen, let me just put a white sheet here, and what you see is, don't want the shadow right now because that's distracting us, is when you look at this piece, everything comes out from here, but everything has its individual space to grow and be formed. Nothing is disconnected, everything is connected, yet it has its own importance, its own journey, its own path that it has to take. So we might meet somebody at this phase of our life which our frequency would connect with, but then there will be a portion where you will spend time on your own, becoming the person that you're meant to, on your journey, your soul's evolution. And then you might meet somebody else and they might bring out these leaves in you. They might make you feel a different person, make you grow or stretch in a different way. And then as you move forward, maybe there was a path where, that didn't work out, and how you had to choose between two paths. And then if you chose to be in that situation where you thought you evolved, you took this path, and then as it moves forward, this is where you would reach. And what this plant is telling us through its journey is that you can't stop growing just because somebody has left you or you've outgrown a relationship. You will always keep growing and attracting everything and anything that you need for your soul's evolution, for you to become this. You might have to go through this, and then reach this point where you will blossom and bloom. And when you look at the flower, it's really simple. So there's a lot of layers that this a plant must have shed and let go of to become this flower. And I picked two of them which were very similar. If you look at their parts, they both show how connected they are to the stem, and yet how individually they need to choose a certain path to find who they are, why they're here, the important questions. So looking at this, I'm going to do a little writing, and you can do that with me. When you see these pieces, what do you think they are teaching you? How do you feel about them when you see this? Also, the fact, when you look at it, they're two different colors, right? So this one's green and yellow. I hope the camera is getting it. And then this one is reddish, purplish, and then going to the pink, beautiful pink flowers. There. It's so delicate. I think it's purple, not pink, sorry. Anyway, when you look at it, what is it that you learn from? So most times we see something and we just pick, it's green, it's yellow, it's like this, it's like this. But what is the essence, the learning of this plant? What does this plant teach you? And so I'll give it a couple of minutes to write it down, and you can join me for doing that if you want. what this does is this really helps to ground your creativity. So we connect to our masculine energy as we write things down, and we connect to the feminine energy, which is about creating the piece. So when we write things down, like for example, when I look at this piece, actually I really want to do this one because this has a really haphazard, there's no path to it. So what it's really teaching me is to be on the path of the soul. I have to get off the path of my mind. As I move forward in life, I begin to understand that life is what happens for me. Each path is a journey that leads me to improving myself into becoming that what my Creator wants me to. The path I thought was mine was written to me by my mind. The path I am on today demands me to let go of all that my mind believes to be the only way. This twig, this creation teaches me to not hold myself too tightly to what I imagined myself to be. The path appears as I choose my heart. I might not see the way. I might not have clear directions, but I know my heart, where my God resides, will take me on a journey closer to my highest version, for it knows that what I don't. there is no control, there is no certainty, there is no reality, but the one which my God has chosen for me. For to it I belong, and to it I will return. With that in mind, I'm going to create my piece with you guys. For this, you can actually get your own little twig, or you can just imagine, plant that is similar to this form. And what I'm going to do is I am going to work with the shadow. I truly believe there is so much beauty in understanding that what is unseen, that what you don't know about. So when you look at this, this is the form that my eyes are seeing, but there is a form that comes with the shadow. And as I'm sitting here thinking about what I need to draw, when I actually have the inspiration right in front of me, because the sun falling down on my sheet of paper, creating this is the reality that my brain sees. This is the reality that the sun wants me to see. And so I'm going to I'm going to hold my hand as still as I can in this moment. I love that this flower is so clearly visible here. So as I spoke about this, the sun faded away and I got like, oh my God, what's happening? And so I'm learning and listening to the sound of the rays as it's saying to me, don't be scared, I've got you. I don't know who that message was for, but don't be scared, I've got you. I might go away for a bit, but know that I will be back. It's teaching me patience in this moment, for I know the clouds are going to go away. You see, when you're doing conscious creating, it's in your hands what you choose to bring into the physical reality and what you choose not to bring. So for some reason, even though I see this part, my hands won't move. And one of the things that when you're tuning into your intuition and being honest with it, you do not force creativity. You do not force creation. This is a journey the plant took. What I am meant to learn from it is what I need to be honest with and not just keep drawing just because this part exists. So my heart is saying, I don't want to draw this part, but this is the only part I need to extract. So there's no guilt in this. There's just gratitude, thanking the twig for gifting me this moment. I'm cherishing where I am, who I have become, and how I can connect to this plant. I thank it and I put it on the side. And I work with what I've got. Now, each piece, when I look at the flower, I'm going to go in it and I'm going to go and recreate in the way that my heart desires. So I've got the soul of it. Now I'm going to put my soul into it. So I'll show you how that's done. So I've got the form and the line. There's only one flower there was. The way creativity works is when we fuse things together rather than push things or copy things. So just a simple flower. I'm going to be using my ink pen. I always take the bottom off because it just sits in my hand better, but of course that's not something you need to do. I'm going to go in and outline my twig. Always remember in your heart this moment as you create. You are in gratitude for the plant, for it has the soul which came here to teach us this lesson of accepting, acknowledging, and understanding the need that yes, we are connected to each other, but we also have an individual path that we choose to take. So there's no need to hold on to people, situations, and things where you feel unheard, unwanted, or where you have to lower yourself down, you lower your volume down. It's time for you to understand, yes, you met them, you connected to them for a certain reason, for a certain time, you thank them and you move on. I'm going to darken this part. I'm using an ink pen for this. Hold yourself in the now. Most times we start thinking, what am I going to be doing next in the background? And it's so important to remind yourself that in this moment, you are doing what you need to. You do not need to rush this process into wondering what are you going to be doing next. Rather, just focus on every line, every stroke, enjoy it, and remind yourself there's no need to rush. There's no need to run for the future. You're right now here. I'm going to give it a nice outline right now. Kind of like a glue. Sometimes we hold on to our identities too tightly to our friendships too tightly, and we don't allow ourselves to move away from them, and we start looking at them as if something that they, define us. That friendship, that relationship, that career, that job, those clothes, those things, they all become a part of our identity, and we think that that's how we are meant to be. But in reality, if you think about it, you're not those things, you're not those people, you're not those experiences. And that's how I've captured the teacher, and then I'm capturing now the lesson what the teacher has given me. And it says individually we are all different, and also the fact that there is no path. The path of the soul needs to be something that sort of evolves rather than be told. Your parents could have taught you to be a certain way, or your mother would have wanted you to be a certain profession, but you turned out to be completely different to what your parents had thought you would be. And so for that, the path of the soul is unknown to the path of the mind. And how do we bring that? So let's see if we can bring in, we can actually choose to go around like an outline. This is the path of the soul that the soul decides to take. Let's give it another outline because it's looking so good. This time focus on going closer, but not too close to merge, because what you're doing is you're building a rhythm. You're letting the soul guide you slowly. It's like the essence of the plant. I'm gonna go 2 more times like this, and this time I'm gonna come from top to bottom. So I went like a whole circle like that. Now I'm going to go from here. And why am I doing that? Because my hand feels better. And one of the things in creativity I feel is you need to do the things that make you feel good. Not because somebody is saying this is how you need to do. If it's not sitting right with you when you're creating, you are you deserve the freedom to choose what you need to do. So teachers, mentors are there to guide you, to hold you, but they're not going to define your path. And that's when you know you've got a good teacher, is when you aren't defined by your teacher. You're not creating pieces like a photocopy of their work. See, that is the path of the soul. It doesn't know where it's going to go, but it has a path. Just because my brain can't see it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Now for the brain, guys, you know what I'm feeling? I don't have a ruler here, otherwise I would have created lines, but what I'm feeling is when we think about our paths in life, generally, I'm just going to see if I can do this. Generally, we are told, you need to have a certain degree, you need to have a certain bank balance, you need to wear these clothes, and things like that. And so we build ourselves, defining ourselves through these paths that have been written for us. And we start defining ourselves, and the moment we aren't able to do what they want us to do, you feel like a failure because you were not capable, or you didn't, follow the certain path. And it just is so sad that we do that to ourselves, because we ruin our selves, we lose ourselves in other people's wishes. And that's where we need to kind of shift into understanding that we have a path that might not be like everybody else's. But that's what this beautiful plant is teaching us today is you might have a path that is different from others, but you still have a path. There is still something you will do in life that you are here to do. For everything that is created in nature has a purpose. Nothing is just created for the heck of it. Let's just create a stroke of person. It doesn't work like that. The creator, the one who created you and me, knows exactly why it needs you to exist. You're kind of like a little puzzle in the picture, right? I love the sound. I just love the sound of pen on paper. I call it the sound of creation, because it's through that sound. Sound is so beautiful, right? Sound is what sound is what we can hear in the womb. Sound is the first sense that is developed inside a baby. And so sound is something so beautiful. I'm going to work on the background. So we're put into these definitions of what we need to be and to become, right? And if we don't put ourselves in this pigeonhole of the world, not pigeonholed, I mean pigeonholes, then we start seeing ourselves as flawed or unaccomplished or worthless and whatever else that we do feel. But we just have a different path, that's all. Every day we get given a chance to live a life of service, of becoming a better human being, of learning to let go, of learning to accept. Every day we get a chance. But it's up to us if we're willing to take that chance on or not. Or we're going to give this day up and, let whatever happens, happens. Every day you can love yourself a little more than you did yesterday. Every day you can be grateful to your Creator for gifting you and blessing you with all that you have around us, your hands, your eyes, your breath, your journey, your hardships. To be grateful when you are going through something easy is actually really easy. But it is when you're going through something so difficult to be grateful for that difficulty. Now that's where you know, I'm drawing the phases of the moon. I'll try and see if I can bring it up for you guys later. But what I'm doing is I'm saying that sometimes the world or the mind that makes us want to do certain things, we aren't able to fully do them really well. We fail. We don't shine all the time. We're not meant to shine, you know. And it's such a thing that people have, like, just because you studied or you did something in life, or that you have to be so good at it. You don't have to be good at it. You just have to try and give it your best, and whatever's meant to come through you in this journey will automatically come through. You have to just relax yourself a bit, connect yourself to your heart, open your mind, be flexible, and know that it might not be going your way. You might not be shining today, but that doesn't mean you won't shine ever, right? Every piece is a journey to recognizing there is so much in you that still needs to be explored. Some days you'll understand the journey, some days you won't understand the journey, and that just brings surrender into our being, as we're not going to be knowing what's next. The mind wants you to actually live in an illusion, thinking, oh, I know what's going to happen next, but do we really? I don't know, like halfway through the video I might just faint and die or something, or I might get a phone call and disconnect. I don't have to be morbid all the time, I know, but but death is such a beautiful transformation a being goes through, and we just are so scared of it, honestly. Anyway, I won't go and scare you with that side of my self. I love the moon and I love the sun. I love how they teach us so much. One day I'll do a session with you guys with the moon and the sun. If you enjoy what you're watching, I share these sessions on my Patreon, and you can access them through there and do your healing journey. Like I said, every session has a way of connecting you to a deeper part of your inside. And for me, these exercises have tremendously healed me and helped me make sense of my past traumas, you know, do my inner child healing, and be able to help others also through these sessions. So if you feel like you'd like to join, how to learn how to express yourself, most times we don't even know there's things inside us that we need to heal. That's what I thought. Before I had my spiritual journey, I honest to God thought like, oh, I'm like on the top of the world. I'm like done with healing. I think it was in that moment I'm laughing now. Wasn't laughing then, but I actually thought, okay, oh, I'm so healed. I've been doing therapy for a billion years and different types of therapists and this, that, and I'm like amazing, I'm perfect. And man, that was the part of my mind that had to be thrashed and crashed and broken and burned to the ground for me to be shattered into nothingness, to be able to rise into what whatever portion I am today, doing what I'm doing. But the mind has to be shut down for you to reach a place where your soul needs you to be. It purifies you in ways like you can't even imagine. Which is nice but also scary at the same time. But anyway, Okay, so that's what it looks like, and then I am going to, you see there was this pinkish, beautiful pinky colored tone, so I'm going to see if I have anything of my colors. I'm going to use um, purple tones inside here. The reason I've chosen a lighter tone in the inside is because the light, the aura of, wait a minute, I forgot to erase the pencil marks of the aura closer to the skin of the plant is bright light, and so that's being captured by the notice how I don't try to like be too perfect, because the whole joy of creating is to allow yourself to make mistakes, because mistakes are your bestest friends. You go, oh, what have I done? And then you go, oh, I could do this. And so never ever 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 think that you have made any kind of mistake when creating, because the mistake is actually really a blessing. I really hope that you enjoyed this session and you get to create something similar or something completely beautiful along with me. And if you did, do share with me. You can connect with me through my Instagram, TikTok. I'm not majorly on Facebook anymore, but I do have a account there, so you can reach me through that also, but through Instagram and TikTok. And you can message me on WhatsApp if you'd like to attend my online sessions, which I run weekly, connecting to the divine names and the book of Allah. And I also create artworks. I teach artworks on Wednesdays online, which the sessions are inspired by the creation, which are, by the way, amazingly fun. They're all fun, actually. It's such a beautiful journey that one can take to go within. Okay, so that's that, and I might just give my inside a little bit of a there. I'm gonna darken it. Oh, can you hear that sound? So pretty. everything in the universe is light, is energy, it's love. And so that's what I'm trying to represent here with the yellow, that it is alive, it's real. It's just because you don't see it, there is a light, there is a path of love that is always guiding you towards it, and it keeps calling you on it. There we are. I do feel like I'm gonna add like a three-dimensional sort of feeling to it by using my markers. Oops, sorry. I don't know how long this has been on blur. Oh dear. Okay. Oh well. I will just see where that goes. Sorry guys if you weren't able to see the video. I'll still post it, because at least you can get the message from it. I feel absolutely terrible, but let's not worry about it, because some things are done by the spirit. It's not always us. There we go. I really hope you guys enjoyed it, whatever you saw of it, of course. Sending you lots of love, light and peace, everyone. Enjoy yourselves, and like I said, connect with me if you feel like it, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.